Welcome to MMA Fancast. My name is Luke Payson. Welcome back to everyone who is already a subscriber to the show. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe so you can see more great interviews, including the one coming at you right now, fresh off a professional TKO win at Brawl in the Burgh 23 for 247 Fighting Championship that went down just a couple days ago at the Monroeville Convention Center is Jay Manning. Welcome back to the show.
What's up, man? How you doing, man? It's good to be back again. It's good to be back again.
Always great to have you on the show. Welcome back. Big congratulations. 247 had 6 pro fights on that card. It was a great card. 4 amateurs, 2 were advanced, 2 were novice. You were on there as a pro. So let's first talk just a little bit. You're doing well at 185. I've seen you fight amateur. Now I'm seeing you fight pro. So you were coming in, facing a guy with more pro fights than you, and obviously when you guys walked out, he looks like he has never missed a lifting day in his life. Yeah, oh my goodness. I mean, just wow. And so now obviously the fight went your way. We're going to talk about that because I already mentioned you won by TKO in the first round. But matchup wise, did you watch tape on him? Did you kind of see that he was a big, strong power punch wrestler? Like, what did you know about him coming in? And kind of how did you and everybody at Indio Dojo, obviously, Vielfort is the main, the Noah Vielfort, but then Mikey for Coach Mikey for striking, as well as also Uncle Jeff for striking as well. So just kind of run down your prep and how much did you know about his style coming into it?
Yeah, man. As far as like watching film on him, of course I did. I watched some film on him and kind of checked out his fights and some of his habits that he had before. You were right, super brawly, strong, looking dude, and he was strong when we got in there. I was prepared for him to use his wrestling, go for heavy overhands and strong power punches and everything. But I noticed that he kind of sat back and he would try to explode, and he didn't really respond well to a few certain things, and he left himself open in a few certain ways. But folks evolve between fights, so despite looking at film and prepping and looking for patterns and trying to be prepared for those patterns, it's always a matter of being prepared for whatever comes and having a game plan in the back pocket just in case, having a backup plan for the backup plan. Mikey, Uncle Jeff, Danilo, of course, we all put our heads together and came up with a few solid game plans and working ways out of different positions that we will be in and working our way into good positions and figuring out what to do in certain areas in the ring. So it was a solid fight camp, man. It was a full fight camp. Came in healthy, and yeah, it was good to get in there and really be able to execute it like we wanted to.
Yeah, you at 185, you've got the frame of Anderson the Spider Silva. In fact, you might be maybe 1 inch taller, right around what he was. And we saw, or the idiot Adesanya, Izzy Adesanya, how like that frame is perfect. I mean, your frame is perfect for 185 and the striking aspects of 185. For people that know, I would consider you to have kind of already had a striking background. Training at Indio Dojo is kind of perfect because of the BJJ side of things. And there was some ground, even though it was over. You finished it in under 1 round. You did have to work off the ground. He did get you down. So what was it like? Comfortability in there? Obviously, big, strong wrestler, power puncher on top of you. You were able to work your way back up. And I'm assuming that's a big part of working with Danilo.
Yeah, definitely, man. We do a lot of groundwork over at Indio Dojo, and it's become comfortable for me to a point where he'll put us in bad positions when we're training, especially doing MMA training. He'll say, "Hey, somebody get mount on you. You just got to work your way up from there," and things like that. So working with him, having somebody like Kenny around, who's huge, super good wrestler, about the same size as my opponent, really. I feel like Kenny might be stronger, honestly, but having being able to work with guys like that, Evan, whose ground game is great as well, and just Fluffy, who has a good ground game, Hootley, just having like a lot of people around me that are really good with their ground game I'm not specialized in wrestling or anything, but I've learned how to use what little bit of wrestling I know, and I've learned how to use my jujitsu to make uncomfortable positions, not very comfortable for my opponent either. So it felt comfortable even when he was in my guard and everything. I never panicked or anything like that. Worked my way into slipping some elbows in from the bottom and working my way back up and not really letting him get into advantageous of a position at any time. So it felt good. It felt good.
I mean, that makes sense. That's exactly how it looked in there. So once you got back to your feet, um, you seem to really find the range. I mean, obviously, at your frame, with your striking skills, with a good wrestling, defense and ability to get back up, um,
Mhm.
you really started to find your striking. What was that like? Sometimes people have to take second round, even third round to kind of figure out how was it getting your range, and then kind of talk about when you started to really piece them up on your feet before the end came.
Yeah, man. I feel like I felt when we were on the ground, he was exerting a lot of energy, trying to keep me down there. So I figured when we got up, he would be a little more tired, and we put in a lot of work and conditioning and everything. So I was comfortable when we got up, and he tried to get back into another grappling situation. I was able to create more space. He didn't have as much energy to like get a super tight body lock anymore. So I was able to create more space and slip a couple solid knees in there to his body. And I think that really took a lot of energy out. I felt his body kind of go with one of those knees. And after that, I kind of felt him just start backing off. The pedal was gone. He didn't really have the juice to be aggressive like he wanted to anymore. I feel like so I was able to really start setting things up a lot better, start finding my range a lot easier, with a little bit less risk to it. Um, so it from there it was pretty much just setting up using my jab to kind of try to find the space, using my cross to the body, finding that teep when he was back against the fence. I love the teep, and yeah, man, it just kind of ended up working out. And close to the end, when I got him on the fence again, he was still trying to grapple a good bit. So it was just a matter of kind of trying to frame up and then sneak something in there to stun him and just finding those spots, not letting him hit me and keeping a good defense and then finding those spots and landing some strong stuff to kind of get him out of there.
And before your referee, it was either Chip or Dave, before your referee jumped in, how confident were you that he was going to stop it at that? Or did you think because your opponent didn't go completely out, but he was by definition not defending himself, you were landing some really great ground and pound. I believe some elbows actually finished it off or were part of that process. So how confident were you that he was going to stop it at that point, or did you kind of think there was still some time left in the round? Obviously, did you kind of think you were going to potentially have to kind of just keep that position and continue the ground and pound?
Yeah, with me, I'm gonna go till the ref pulls me off. I felt like the ref was gonna pull me off soon because I mean, usually when guys get in that position, I hit him with that. I think it was a left hook, and he kind of collapsed, and then he just turtled up. Generally, when I get guys in that position, it's blood in the water to a shark for me, and I'm going for the finish. So he was turtled up. I managed to find some openings in in his shell and get some solid ground and pound on him. I felt the end coming pretty soon. If the ref didn't stop it at that point, I would have kind of been surprised, but I was ready to keep going until he did. I didn't know it was that close to the end of the round. The round kind of felt fast. It felt
Yeah.
very fast. I felt like I had a good bit of energy left, but yeah, man, I felt the end coming. I can say that much, and I'm glad the ref stopped it when he did. I was ready to keep going.
Well, that is great. And now that you're 3-1 as a pro, and this was your first fight back after your first loss as a pro. So where do you kind of feel this puts you on your trajectory in your pro career? 185 is an incredible weight class, both locally, but also at some of the bigger promotions. That's a premier, I'd say, light heavyweight 185. They're like and you seem perfect at that frame and that size. and you're starting to get what everybody likes to see, which is you've always won. All your pro fights have been won by stoppage due to punches. So kind of where do you feel yourself going, and are you trying to get another one in? We haven't touched October yet. You've got a couple more months. You're trying to get another one in before the end of the year.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm trying to get one in November if I can.
Okay.
If they offer me anything sooner, I'm all for another check. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, I'm gonna do like a jujitsu tournament or something. Try to get my keep sharpening up different skills. Keep getting, keep going in. It's just back to the lab. It's back to work and just keeping things pushing. As far as uh, the career goes, I'm definitely trying to get as many as I can in before the year's up, one or two more if I can, and then see where it takes me into early next year. I feel like I'm in a good position. I'm in good shape. I came out of this fight healthy, no injuries or anything like that. It was a good camp with no injuries, so it's just time to get back to improving and take this momentum I got right into the next one, and now I don't got the ring rust anymore from taking like a year off or something like that. So feels even better, feels even better.
That makes perfect sense. Glad you're doing so well coming back from the ring rust. You didn't look like you had any ring rust. You gave a great shout out to not only your coaches at Indio, but also all the training partners. And even going all the way down, I mean, Hootley's an incredible, he's an incredible fighter, but I think he fights at 155. And it really shows. This is what I encourage people. It really shows that when you're in the gym and your teammates work to get better, with your size and strength, you might be able to do things to Hoot that wouldn't really allow him to maybe work. Although he's a tough guy, he could probably still handle you. So one of the things I always encourage people when they're in the gym is to find ways to have the talent of your gym help you. He's obviously a better wrestler than you are, so you learn from the wrestling side. If you're just going to strike him at distance with your frame difference, that really doesn't make a lot of sense to do that unless it's to help him get better. So I think a lot of times there's this mindset, and I know everybody at Indio, I've come to one of your practice and watch the humility in the gym to be able to kind of always learn from each other. You want to look great. You want to put on a show in the cage, but too often, sometimes you get, people become that gym bully where they really want to win every sparring session. They want to win and then that makes for a bad teammate. What ends up happening is they don't get better. And obviously, everybody at Indio is really just pushing each other. You got two incredible female, maybe more than the two, but I know two incredible MMA female fighters, Chase sisters, and last 247 card, they both won on the same night, which was incredible. And so you guys just got a great gym. So it's always great having you on. Can't wait to see you again. If you end up fighting before the end of the year, would love to have you back on. It's been fun following your career since you first fought for 247 as your amateur debut in the United States. You'd already fought internationally in Brazil, but it was your first United States fight, and it was really great to see that. And then obviously you're now at the pro level. So I really appreciate you coming on. Congratulations to you. You looked fantastic. Congratulations to your gym as well for all the work that they're putting in. Really appreciate you coming on. You've been listening to Luke Basin with MMA Fancast and the victorious Jay Manning, fresh 2 days removed from his round one TKO victory for 247 Fighting Championships Brawl in the Burgh 23. Thanks so much.
Yes, sir. Peace.
You got it, brother.
All right, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it once again.